Hey everyone, it's Hannah Singer and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Dance. Something about the way you do to me. Yeah. Give me a reason, and I will dance, I will dance.
So as you could probably tell by the title of this video that it's going to be a chat style video. I love doing these, but I also have really loved vlogging and just doing some daily life vlogs. So I will start uploading twice a week. That is my goal, and it's going to be a lot, especially with school. But I have faith and trust, and I really think it would be beautiful to be able to upload a vlog style video and a chat just so we can really stay connected throughout the week. And then it offers two kind of different outlets for me to share with you all and for you guys to connect back with me, which is really cool. So with that said, let's get into the video. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm super excited to just talk to you all. So today I've decided that I want to just open up about some things that are going on in my life and to just be real with you all, because that is all my channel is about. It is my life. It is me being authentic and sharing the things that are going on in my life, my thoughts, my experiences, and making some amazing connections with you all. So that is kind of why I decided to sit down and film this. I have been struggling with something for over a few months now, and I've just kept it to myself and the people around me, obviously, because they can see how it affects me. But it's something that I feel like I should just share, because we should be able to be open about the things that we're struggling with too. On social media, it's super easy to just post all the good stuff and all the highlight reels and whatnot. But it's also very important for me to show that I have other stuff going on too behind the scenes that isn't always filmed, and I don't always talk about everything on camera. And so I want to talk about something that has been a struggle for me, especially the past couple of months, and hopefully this opens the conversation for you, and maybe it helps you if you're struggling with something. I'm also going to share some tips at the end that have been helping me stay really positive, because sometimes when you're going through something, it can feel like everything is just closing in on you. So I feel like having someone remind you that there are ways to find the silver linings and be super positive even when there's something that is hard going on in your life. And first off, before I start, I want to make it super clear that I'm not trying to victimize myself at all and be like, oh, feel bad for me or feel sorry for me, because that is the last thing that I want. I simply just feel like it's super important to show that I'm human and I'm struggling with stuff too. And I'm not always showing that side of me on YouTube, but I think it's just as valid, if not even more important, to show that as well alongside all of the other stuff that I am posting. Okay, one more side note. I just wanted to make sure that I say this because I think it's so important, and I wish that someone would have said it to me when I was struggling, with the little things in life throughout like high school and middle school. But know that everything that you're feeling is valid. So if you're struggling right now with something, it's so valid, and that's okay to feel however you do, whether it's the smallest thing or not. We all hold trauma and pain differently in our bodies. We are all experiencing different lives differently. So it's super important to know that wherever you're at, whether you're struggling with something or not, all your feelings, your emotions, they're all valid, and to not compare yourself to someone else. It's beautiful to gain perspective and inspiration and insight from others. So whatever you're going through, and no one else can understand or feel that. And I've started to realize that the more that I come across little struggles and things in life, that it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling and to open up about it, even if it's not, even if it doesn't seem to other people like the biggest thing, to you it might. So now we can get into the video. So something that I've been struggling with a lot lately is connected to my health and my gut health and acid reflux, gastritis, stomach pains, sickness, whatnot. It's all, I guess, under the wing of gut health. And it kind of started for me the second semester of school, so during my spring semester, and it came out of nowhere. Basically, I just started having like acid reflux and a lot of stomach pain and bloating, and I just couldn't eat a lot of the foods that I wanted to eat. It was really hard for me because I'd feel sick after, and it kind of spiraled over time. It got worse and worse and worse. And it got so bad to the point where I went and saw a doctor at school because I just couldn't wait till I got home, even though we were starting to kind of get close towards a time where people were going home. I just decided to stay there, and I saw a doctor, and right away they're like, oh, you have acid reflux for sure, and let's do some other tests. So I got a ton of tests done there, and they didn't really find anything. So then they sent me to the hospital, and I got more tests done there, and they didn't find anything. And so they were looking for like bacterias and whatnot. And so then I kind of was like, oh, this sucks. I feel a little bit hopeless, but whatever. And I kept just doing the things that I was doing, eating the way I was eating. And I had appointments at that time too with a dietitian and a therapist because I was struggling with an eating disorder, which is something that I could talk about in a whole nother video. It's something I'm still, I feel like, not anxious to talk about, but it's really serious, and I think that it can be super triggering also for other people, so I'm conscious of that. And if there's someone out there that feels like it would be a helpful video, I most definitely would talk about it. But anyways, yeah, so I was seeing a dietitian and a therapist because I had struggled with an eating disorder in the past that I didn't really know I had. So she was kind of helping me just to make sure that I wasn't going to go into any bad habits again. So I was doing it more for just staying in tune with myself and making sure that I was creating positive habits for my future. And as I was talking to her, she was mentioning stuff too, like this is a little bit serious because I started getting sick to the point where I had like extreme nausea and headaches, and I just couldn't really do anything. Like I didn't want to go to school. Thank God that school was online, but even going to my classes was hard to like focus. And then teaching yoga and working was also really hard because I would teach at 6 a.m. in the morning. I'd go to bed really late because my apartment setting was a little crazy and people would stay up and be really loud super late. So I'm a sensitive sleeper and I wouldn't fall asleep till, 3 a.m. Then I teach at 6 a.m. So I wasn't sleeping a lot either. Putting a lot of stress on my body, and then going to eat and my body just like would not digest the food, and it was just not going so well. And so I had to take off of yoga for a few days, and then I eventually got to the point where I left school and went home early because I was so sick and I just couldn't be there. I think the environment I was around was a little bit toxic within my home space and living situation. So I got out of there, but I didn't want to go home because I still had so many people that I wanted to see and so many experiences that I wanted to have. So it was really hard to say that it was really hard to get up and go, but I did it because I knew that I needed to see a doctor. So I came back and I saw a gastrologist. Is that what they're called? Gastrologist. Okay, anyways. So I came back and I saw a doctor here, and they ordered me different tests, and then I got an endoscopy, which is where they take like a little tube microscopic thing and it has a camera on it, and they put it down your throat and look in your stomach. And so gastritis means that like your gut is just inflamed, and then acid reflux is just like when food and acid comes back up your esophagus and it causes like a burning sensation. But for me, what hurt the most was like my stomach pains, like really bad stomach pains and really bad bloating, like looked like I was 8 months pregnant, and sometimes it still happens that bad. So yeah, that was like really hard, and I was not really getting answers, and they kept trying to put me on pills. And so I tried taking some of the pills, and they weren't really doing much for me. And so I gave them 2 weeks tops, and then I stopped because I wanted to heal it naturally. Basically, I left with like a list of foods not to eat. And I was like, this is so annoying, because if you have ever struggled with restrictive eating or binge eating or any type of eating disorder, being told not to eat certain things can be a little bit triggering. Or to eliminate foods on your own and stuff like that can be triggering. And so I was struggling with that. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to figure this out on my own. Still eating pretty much like the same way that I was used to, but trying to avoid certain things. That was hard. Oof, I can feel it right now. Anyways, so yeah, it was a little bit frustrating trying to go see all these doctors who I couldn't get answers from, but thankfully I had dealt with a similar situation with my chronic back pain throughout high school and even the start of college. I suffered with that for like 8 years, and I got no answers from conventional medicine. And again, not hating conventional medicine, it has its place, it has its purpose, but for what I was going through, it wasn't serving me, and so I figured out how to heal on my own. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. The thing that's hard is that healing on your own takes a lot of experimenting, it takes a lot of time and patience, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know what I'm doing except for Googling and doing my own research and reading books. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately. I've been reading a lot of medical medium books, I've been drinking a lot of celery juice and trying these different cleanses, and I recently tried a cleanse that I had to cut off early because I just felt so irritable and tired, and it was making me mad. So I stopped it because I was like, I don't want to feel this mad all the time. Like, I just want to be able to eat the foods that I want to eat. And it's not like a juice cleanse or anything like that. You're still eating food, but it was just hard. And it made me think about like, damn, this sucks. And it's okay to feel like, damn, this sucks, you know? And so I wanted to, I guess, share this story because I'm still figuring it out. I'm still struggling with it. And I just think it's important to open up about this stuff, especially on here, because I share my life and I share everything that I'm going through, good, bad, whatever you want to label it, whatnot. I share the light and the dark on here, and so it's really important for me to just open up about this and to tell you guys kind of where I'm at. I'm trying my best to just stay positive, to stay grounded, to stay in tune, and to just trust that my life is working out the way it's supposed to work out, that everything is happening as it should, and that I'm gonna be good. It's all gonna be great. And so it's taken me a moment to develop that mindset, especially like even right now I have stomach pains going on and they're really uncomfortable. I have a lot of bloating and stuff like that, and it could be easy for me to just fall into being like, oh, woe is me, I'm going through pain, or I'm going through this or that, and no one can help me or whatnot, and just start to spiral in negative thoughts. But I've really worked on changing my script, changing my reality, and knowing that although my circumstances aren't exactly aligned as I would have wanted them to be, I know and I trust that they're unfolding so divinely and perfect for me, and that it's gonna work out. However it works out, it's gonna work out, and I just have to stay true to that and trust that. Yeah, so that's just what I've been going through. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out and figure out the best way to heal for me, because we all experience things differently, but we also all heal differently. So Now we can get on to some of my tips for staying positive when you're struggling with something, because it's not easy. My first tip for staying positive is to count your wins. And what I mean is that although there are a lot of things that you could be experiencing that feel really dark or bad or negative or whatnot, count the positives, count the wins and the things in your life that you have to be grateful for. So for me, although my stomach and my gut and all of that is struggling a lot right now, I have a mouth that speaks. I have eyes that see. I have a nose that smells, a mouth that tastes, hands that move, feet that walk me all over this earth, a body that still can move. You know what I mean? There's so many wins that I have going on. I have a family around me. I have friends around me. I have people to support me, people who love me, people I can love. I start to tell myself all of these things that I have going for me, all of the wins in my life. I woke up today. That is a win. That is a huge win. And so just going on a little list, a little hunt throughout your life and saying, okay, what do I have as a win? What is something today, even though I don't maybe feel the best, or even though I'm struggling a lot, what is there that I can be grateful for? And find something and stick with it. And if you have to tell yourself it 1,000 times over and over and over again, do it. When you begin to find things in your life that are wins, you are creating positive energy. You're starting to peel back the narrative of suffering, and you're starting to say, okay, there's hope, there is faith, there is trust. Gratitude for the things that you do have puts things into perspective, and it can allow you to just change the way that you feel internally. What you focus on expands. It's like the law of attraction, and if you've ever heard the quote, where your attention goes, energy flows, that's how it is. So put your attention on the positive things every single moment of every day, and you'll find them. You'll create them, because there's so much, I bet you, there's so much that you have to be grateful for. So my next tip is to fully feel whatever you feel, whenever you feel it. If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling frustrated, feel those feelings fully. Sit with them. Allow whatever it is to come up. So if you want to cry, cry. If you want to scream, scream. Obviously, don't do anything destructive to yourself or others, but if you're feeling those emotions, feel them so fully and so completely, because by doing that, you release those emotions. You let them go. You let them out of your emotional body. It's so vital to feel whatever you feel, because if you avoid feeling how you're actually feeling, then you're just letting things fester up inside you. So what I do is I will let myself cry it out. I will let myself be sad or angry or mad and really feel it and be like, okay, I'm angry and mad because of this and this and that. And I'm feeling this and I'm feeling it, and then I'm gonna let it go and start to think, what do I have to be grateful for? Where are my wins? What are the silver linings? My next one is to fill each day with a moment of joy. So that could be anything. Find a moment of joy, create a moment of joy, and then keep doing that. It allows you to focus on a more positive energy. The next tip is just know that you're not alone. Really know that whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, you are not alone, and everything you're feeling is so valid. And another reminder, don't compare yourself. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's, because it's different. It's so different. Something that feels little to you might be a big deal to someone else. Essentially, just have compassion. My last tip is to live in love. So find love in your heart for yourself and for what you're going through. Create love for yourself and create love for those around you, even when it feels hard. You got it. You can do it. And also share how you feel. If you're struggling, don't be afraid to share how you feel with someone else. That is essentially all of the tips that I have to share with you today. Those are just things that have helped me and that could possibly help you. So take them with a grain of salt, or maybe try to implement some of them in your daily routine. With that said, thank you so much for listening and watching. It means a lot. I just wanted to come on here and be open and authentic and honest, and I hope that you appreciate that. I appreciate all of you, all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so, and we can build this tribe up. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. I think it's just fun to have a community on here and to keep building and slowly getting to know more people. So definitely feel free to leave a comment. You can always reach out to me if you're struggling with someone and you need someone to be there for you or hold some space. DM me on Instagram at earth2_Hannah, and I would totally be open to being there for you and listening to your story. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sincerely sending you so much love and light. Always remember, the earth is your playground, and I will see you in my next video. Much love and peace. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her.